So we're just going to do a quick video on why you feel tightness in certain muscle groups. Stretching isn't always the best thing to do because often people stretch a muscle that is already working too hard. If we take Rachel's example with her hamstrings, I'm already aware of some of the reasons why her hamstrings always feel like they need to be stretched, and I think it's good to start thinking outside of the box, and just because a muscle is feeling tight, stretching it isn't always something that we need to do. Take people that sit down all the time as well. They've often got rounded shoulders. This is my normal posture and it's forwards. I naturally stand and sit like that, whereas I need to be in that position, bringing it in line with the socket. And what happens when it's always forwards is our shoulder muscles round forwards, stretch out, and that creates more tension. You think of it as an elastic band. If you've ever seen one get really old, you can see where it's stretched. That is your body. Your muscles are going to do the same thing. So if it's always being pulled, it's going to get pissed off. And when you feel that pain or the niggles or that burning sensation, or you keep rubbing a certain area, it's because of what you've been doing over a period of time. So the best things that I think everybody can do is think about what's in front of that body or that muscle that's hurting. So if it's behind you, hamstrings, shoulder, neck, think about what these muscles are doing. Yeah, they're often shortened. If we start with the neck and work down, so if you've got tightness in the back of your neck, okay, a lot of that is tension. And if you find that you're always shrugging your shoulders, again, you're shortening those muscles, so you need to bring them down and back. One good movement as well, if you're always on your phone, is, if you see that position there, I just need to push that back. And it's going to start working these muscles here, okay? We've got muscles down the front of our neck. When they stretch at the back, these get short, they're not doing their job, we need to pull it back. So create tension that way. Hold it. Shoulders, you'd need to open up your chest, so I'd stretch the chest. If you've got shoulder pain, I would encourage you to open up this, and we can do it in a door frame. So if you imagine my hand, actually I'll go into the rig. This is your door at home. You're going to place your hand behind your shoulder, and you're literally going to push your hand into it and push your upper back away and slowly lean. What you don't want to do is have it here and move forward to start with. Create that tension, push away, you'll feel your chest, activate, and then you can push away. Once you've done that, then I would stretch, so you can just act like a kid, hands in, stretch it out, and you can move the hands higher. Never just stretch and leave it alone, you want to activate. So I would activate my chest, I'd open it up, and then I would work those shoulder muscles. And that's why I get you to do sexy little W's. Stretch out my shoulder, my chest. Now we're going to activate those shoulders. Elbows down, squeezing the shoulders together. That's how I tend to program it, and that's what works. When we go down the body and start thinking about the lower back, activate the lower abs. When this works, this is supported. Hamstrings. When these are worked better or put into a better position, so if you can't physically squeeze your butt cheeks, again, this is for you, Rachel, so if you can't feel when you're squeezing your bum, all you need to do is put your hips into full extension. And I'm not just arching my back, I'm thinking I'm pulling my hips in front of a wall, and I'm thinking nice and tall, holding my core and stretching my head up to the ceiling without going like this, okay? Doing this is going to be so much better than me just saying, just squeeze your bum, because you can cheat that movement. I'm squeezing my bum as hard as I can. The moment I bring it forward, you can actually see that ugly butt. And we can do it laying down as well, and this is probably the easiest one to do, okay? So Rachel, your hamstrings are always working, and what you need to do is try and get that bum doing a little bit of work. So I would recommend lifting through the heel. Let me move the phone so you can see all of me. So what I want you to do is you're going to lift your heel up to the ceiling, and then you're going to kick it across the other side of the body. So that will look like this. Let me get my long body in the frame. So toes, feet flat, okay? That's going to kind of force you to get your butt working. Then keeping the foot nice and flat, so toes pointing towards your knee. You're going to lift that heel, and then you're going to bring it across the body. The other leg can just be nice and close, okay? And I just want you to go as high as you can without trying to get those hamstrings to work. And it's not going to happen overnight, and you're going to have to practice doing that one. But what that is doing, without you even knowing it, is it's working the glute in extension, because my hips are totally flat on the floor, as long as you're not doing this. Head down, keep that belly tight, lift that up, okay? Let's do some of those. Then we do that nice sexy sideline pose. Best way to do, can't get me all in. Best way to do this one is, again, foot flat, and you can either get in front of a wall and slide that heel. So I'm slightly behind my body. It's not in a straight line, but my hips are pulled forwards, okay? Then I'm gonna kick that heel behind my body like I was when I was lying on the floor, and I'm gonna slide it up that wall. And I don't care if you don't feel it, it's gonna do something. There is no way this will not do anything at all. The other thing you can do with that one is press your foot flat and then slide it up the wall. You might want to get a towel on it. Then we move to the front of the body. So again, problems with the hamstrings is usually not using your lower abs and your core effectively or as much as you should. Not sufficient glute activation and tight quads. So if this is shortened, this is working hard. If this isn't working, this is working extra hard. And this is working extra hard. So, sit on the floor, use your hands, okay? When your hands are in this position, this is easy. My legs are out front. This is automatically gonna test your hamstring tension, length. If you can sit like that comfortably, there isn't a problem with your hamstrings, it's everything else. So, we're gonna work the hip flexors, the short bit at the top, muscles around the outside of the thighs, and there's a middle bit in your quad called the rectus femoris. Not that you need to know all this, but this is where you're gonna feel it most with this exercise. So point the toes and lift. Okay? All you need to do is activate the opposite muscle groups, okay? Stretching, whilst it is beneficial, it's more of a neurological release. And I could pretty much get your muscles to turn off by just pinching a different part of your body. That's how the brain works. So it's just a signal to tell you that something's working too hard and something's not working as much as it should. So rather than stretch, think, what muscles do I need to activate? Where am I feeling it? And go from there. I will do a video of some stretches anyway that are good, but they're never just static. It is all about just moving and working muscles together. I hope that helped. That was a lot of ramble. Keep watching it, rewind the bits that you need to get into the head, and let me know what you think. Give it a go.